Michael Morgan standing alongside Cal Elleanor. Cal, you finally got your man. In terms of negotiations, how much of a task was it to actually get this back on the road? How much did you have to actually beg, borrow, steal time from the matchmaker, for example?
Not much at all, really. I think it was kind of a fight that the organisation wanted to get back, and obviously James wanted to run back, John Kavanagh wanted to run back, I wanted to run back, so it was just seemed like the obvious choice to make, you know what I mean? This perfect time, both of us get fully recharged. Obviously he had a nice quick victory there, so he had no injuries. Obviously I did the camp but then never ended up fighting, so it was just perfect to just hold off and just sort it out, and I think they were happy to do it, so it was just easy sorted, you know what I mean?
So just to revisit some of the things that we've talked about so far, you've been quite vocal about what you actually bring to the table. Let's just run over some of those things. What is it that you present as a threat to James Gallagher?
Heavy hands for 100%. I'm really long range. I'm a nightmare to take down. I feel like I'm really elusive as well. That's actually hard to hit us. The only fight I've ever actually taken any damage was my last fight, and that was my own fault, you know what I mean? I shot a stupid single, had a game plan and paid the price for the wrong move, you know what I mean? But aside from that, that's the only time I've ever really took any damage. Like, I don't get hit much, so I feel like that's a big problem that I'll have to deal with. It. Aside from that as well, it's like I'd say my main attributes is my fitness. You know, like I'm a big, strong guy for 61 kilos. You know what I mean? I'm a massive bantamweight, and I bring a hard pace. You know what I mean? That people struggle to match. I'm just really gritty fighter as well. I feel like I'm tough, and I feel like my mental toughness and my determination to win is probably my main attribute, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's going to be a lot for him to deal with. That's why I think my key is to win now.
You know me, you know I like to stir the pot, you know I like beef. But what seems to have been taken out of this equation is the beef, is the animosity, because I have to say, James was very complimentary to you when you had to pull out.
Yeah.
How are you going to actually get up for this fight, considering that there is no animosity, there is no beef, there is no, well, what is the catalyst, what's the motivator for this fight now?
I just feel like all my career I feel like I should have been more known, higher ranked than what I have been, and I've struggled to get these bigger fights until now, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's my motivation right there. I just want to beat him convincingly in front of a massive crowd like that, worldwide audience on telly, and just take all that from him, because I feel like with this win here I can really elevate my career and get the fights that I dream about, you know what I mean, and put on the performances that I know I can, and that's my motivation. I'm not really asked to, obviously beef and stuff like that, like, you can say what he wants, like, obviously it's fun, you know what I mean, I like it, I find it's funny, you know what I mean, so aside, he was complimentary when all that stuff came up, but it was the same, you know, like when we were meant to do a media deal last time, it was middle of the night, I got a phone call that said he wasn't coming, so he says family issue, and that's the way it is, you know what I mean. I never said a word about that because I don't know what's going on, and I was the exact same to him, you know what I mean. You don't know what's actually going on outside of what this is. So he was saying about the fight not happening, and I'm just glad that it's ran back now, but it's the same thing, you know what I mean. I still feel the same way, like obviously he was saying then, and I'll be the same way after the fight, you know what I mean, regardless of which way it goes. But I definitely feel the same way. I cannot wait to get in there and start landing some bombs on him, like.
And just finally, just on landing those bombs, how is it actually going to finish for you? How are you actually going to secure this win come February the 22nd, 2020?
I think submission. I do think I'll break him. I'd love to say I'd knock him out, but I feel like when I do land, people have a tendency to start trying to do anything they can to get away from the shots and panic and start trying to hug me hips and try and do whatever they can. I feel like that's where I think a lot of people underestimate my ground game, and especially now, like the last 6 months, I've dedicated myself so much. I've been training with some of the best grapplers about Ellis Younger constantly, you know what I mean, and I feel like now my ground game is the best it's ever been by far, and I feel like I will surprise him if he does try and take us down, and I feel like the submission will come that way. I feel like I will hurt him and I'll catch him, and I feel like the submission will come. I'd love to take you over if I could knock him out, amazing, but I feel like it'll be a submission for me.
I said this would be the final question, but Cal, you and I have got some unfinished business. If I remember rightly, you owe me 25 press-ups. When am I going to get those press-ups?
You get them today when this is done. I don't want to get too sweaty now, but once this is done, I'll blast 25 for you.
Nice one.
Cheers, man.
Cal Elleanor, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate, man. Thank you. Legend, mate. Thanks, man.